Good morning, evening, afternoon, bath time, walk, work, all that. It's Will here. If you need an e-commerce store, promotional film, an identity for your personal brand or your corporation, I can make that happen on the weekend. Just let me know. Go over to heywillmosley.com for a quote. Again, that's heywillmosley.com for a quote, and we can make it work. Okay, so this is something so. You know those things that just continue to prove themselves? Those things that you're like, that wouldn't work, but they just. Or someone says something, you're like, whatever. But it just proves itself over and over without. It just happens. Well, that's something that I want to talk about today. Um, so in the title, what is like? How do I use like, or what is like? Um, I had that question a day ago, and like is another social platform, like with two e's, Likee. Um, just like maybe something like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. I don't exactly want to compare it to Facebook because Facebook's so huge, but the main thing to know is that it's another social platform. And you may be thinking, well, fuck, I've been on all these other different social platforms like Twitter and Snapchat. Why would I want to go and be on another social platform? Like, it's just too much, right? Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense a lot for consumers, but for creators, it makes a lot of sense. This is why. If you're a creator of content, you're the main thing that you want to do, or the main things that I want to do, and I think a lot of the creator community shares, is one, you just want to be creative. That's great. Two, you want to get your work out to the people. And three, you want to, engage with the community. You want to hear feedback, and you want to, know that what you've done is validated by people. You don't have to have it validated by people. Let me get that straight. But it's nice to know that what you're doing is helping other people. That's really nice to know. It helps you keep it on, but it shouldn't be the reason why you make content. I should say. And then also, you gotta make money too. I mean, don't get it twisted. Like, you need to bring in a little bit of money. It'd be fake or false not to throw that in there where it's like, I'm just trying to do it for the love. That's cool. I mean, some people are, but a lot of people also want to make a living from their passion, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, there are key things that you need um, to make all this happen. And take it that this is a long game. This isn't a short, get rich quick scheme. Like, none of that shit works. This is a long game, but it's an important long game, just like working out. What you want, where you post matters. Like, where you put your content matters. Because we're in a sense catering to the rules of these different social platforms like Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat. They each have their own set of rules, and they each have their own algorithm algorithms as to what they think is good and not good, and what they put on the top and not. And how this typically works for any social platform is when it's new, when it's a baby, anyone willing to kind of jump in and put in a lot of content, willing to kind of follow their rules and kind of adhere to what they're trying to suggest, they typically get put on top. Not always, but though, because you're an early adopter, and not as many people are on there maybe yet, or maybe a lot of people just haven't figured it out yet. If you leverage that, if you jump on early and you're able to produce high quality content quick, it means that you have a more likely chance of reaching way more people organically. Not paid, organically. the more people that saturate a social market, the more means of like, high quality they already have. So therefore, anyone new getting in may not have an easier chance of maybe getting to the top or getting the reach that they might want. And this is so true. I've seen it over and over. I'm going to bring it back to what I originally said. YouTube, for instance. I was a very late adopter of YouTube, of jumping in the game. It took me years and years and years and years to even think about even going on YouTube. By then, YouTube was billions of dollars and huge and everything else. So I have an extremely hard time of breaking through on YouTube. My YouTube following and whatever is still to this day is just a small little bit of a following, even though I've posted most consistently to YouTube and put in the most high quality work that I can on YouTube for long form, which is kind of sad. It's almost like you work really hard and there's no return. So that's kind of how YouTube is, right? It took me a while to think about, maybe I should switch over to Facebook. So I did for a while. I switched over to just specifically posting videos on Facebook in my social media, my personal social media feed. And guess what? The engagement was great. Like I was getting, I think when I was doing YouTube specifically in the early, like not early days, but in my early days of creating content, I'd get maybe like 20 views, which is not much at all. It's something, right? But it's not much at all. On Facebook, and these are like long videos. These are videos I took hours and hours and hours to make. On Facebook, I'd post and I'd get 100 to 200 views. And I think that was because video content was starting to make its approach on Facebook, but it hadn't been the focus. YouTube, of course, its focus has always been video, but Facebook has been focused on text and photos. And then they eventually started adapting really like ways for the videos to really be good. And I didn't jump on that early either. I just think I was kind of on the long tail of that. I was late to YouTube. I wasn't super late to Facebook for video, but I was still on the back end, right? So those got good views, but you can only do so much. And even worse for like my Facebook page, where I'm trying to build it from a zero audience. Most of the views were from people that I was friends with on Facebook for years and years. So there was a built up love there. But from like someone not knowing you or not knowing any of your content, it was definitely tough. So I finally decided to also start doing Instagram. Heard a lot of feedback about Instagram, and I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. At this point, I still didn't understand it. Like this is just another feed that I'm gonna have to keep up with. It was my thought process of like, shit, this is more content that I'm gonna have to post to a different feed. This is a pain in the neck. How can I just make the same thing from Facebook? I wasn't thinking about it at all. And I would say that for Instagram, I still was late to the game. I don't think I was like, I think I jumped in, I guess I jumped in a little bit earlier than what I would have been. Oh, my turn. I actually about to miss my turn. I think I jumped into Instagram early enough, but it still was pretty late in the game, years and years later. I think, hold on, there's something crawling on me. Okay, so back to it. Now, for Instagram, though, I've actually gotten a really good, like a good bit of engagement. Like Instagram still has a lot of mad organic engagement. A lot of people are commenting on there. The community is all about kind of love and positivity, which I love. And everyone's pretty supportive, honestly. And it's also a community not based on, it's based on followers, people that you don't exactly know in real life or know completely from high school. There's people that you do know, but there's vast majority of people that you don't know. And so that was the first thing that really hit, where I could post the short, like this photo or this short video, and discover that I'd get a lot of likes for it, where I was getting no likes over on YouTube, maybe one or two or three or whatever, a couple likes. Facebook, I was getting a little more, and then Instagram, I was getting a lot more. And so I think that's really what helped me understand why different social networks are important, and why, as creators, we shouldn't just discount it as another social network. Because at the end of the day, it's about where the underpriced attention is. Where can you post your content that will get the most engagement for the least amount of cost or time, or whatever you want to use as your metric of spending? In Instagram, it's a good bit. So eventually, about a month ago, I finally decided, you know what, I'm going to start posting to TikTok. I've been seeing a lot of posts and ads about TikTok, and I'm like, oh my god, TikTok, what is this? Right? It's for people making comic videos or something like that. But I gave it I was like, screw it, I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to post the stuff natively here. I'm going to post the stuff natively here and see what it is. And guess what? I'm getting mad views on TikTok, and I'm getting a lot of comments on TikTok, which is really cool. And so that just kind of proves it. TikTok is still early. It's still, like, people are still figuring it out, still understanding why they need it, and jumping on there and actually putting in content early means that more people will see my content and more likely to engage, and then more likely, be able to kind of get to the top quicker for them, making sure it actually reaches people. Which brings me to I found another social platform that I guess teens pretty much use or whatever. And I was trying to figure out my place for TikTok too, because that's more for, like, it's more on the consumer is, like, more teens. And I was like, how can I provide value to these teens? And I thought to myself, as a kid, as growing up as a teen, I already knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't understand all the way how to do it. I was like, you know what, I can provide, film tutorials on here, short film tutorials that they can enjoy, and that that's fun, and people are loving them. And that's kind of like, because a lot of times you think about the social network and you're like, that's not for me, that's not what I kind of get in, that's not my taste. And actually, TikTok is pretty funny. Like, there's a lot of good stuff on there where people, it's just short and funny and fast and enjoyable. It just makes you laugh. And there's definitely a market for other things like that too, like for other different things that I'm doing, which I don't think has been really saturated yet, so it's good. Coming back to Like is similar. It's very similar to TikTok. So I pretty much just last night started using it for the first time. I uploaded, I think, about 8 videos to it natively. I'm not talking about it's fine for it to be the same video that you're using, but make sure it's natively, you're posting it in there, not not sharing a post from something else. Just a native video, even though it still could be the same content that you shared on your TikTok or on your YouTube or on your Facebook or whatever. Just make sure it's a native video. It's uploaded directly into the like system, and the engagement is already through the roof. Like, I'm getting every single 1-minute video that I upload, and take it that it's a 1-minute video, and I usually make 1-minute video. I make about 10 to 15 1-minute videos out of one film. I'm getting about 50 likes, or not 50 likes, 50 views just from the first like hour on each of these 1 minute films. And if we kind of go back to the YouTube example, I would post a full length feature film, a 10-minute film, and get 3 likes or 10 likes, or not likes, but 10 views or whatever, which is crazy. And then you jump over to Facebook, and I got 50 views for the whole, like, for the entire video, and it's a 10-minute video. So for the fact that if you multiply, let's just use 10 minutes, like 10 videos, 10 1-minute videos, which is the same content, the same amount of time that it took me to create it, that is pretty much in the first day, you can get like roughly 500 views on 10 posts. That's a lot of engagement comparatively to even what I'm getting on Instagram or any of that stuff. So 500 views versus 10 views. The math is it's there. So it's super important to be early to a market, early to a platform, not a market, but to a platform. And I'm going to look for more kind of platforms like this that are early, and try to provide my videos, try to engage with the community just as it is, give feedback, give love. And I think that is really how you grow an engaging social following in today's era. It's hard to break through the big ones that have already hit to the top, but if you find one that is on the break, that's there, that a lot of people are already there, but it hasn't hit that home run yet, I think that's the way to go. So I will let you guys know maybe in about a month of how Likee is doing, like with 2 E's. And yeah, I hope you guys, you definitely should sign up for a Likee account. Just post your content, be you, and do your thing. Remember, if you need an e-commerce store, a promotional film, a brand, an identity for your personal brand or your corporation, we can set up a meet for coffee on Saturday. Go to heywillmosley.com to get a quote. Catch you guys on the next one. Bye.